Let me tell you, you're not the only ones. Michelle?
For decades, Michelle Obama has been a symbol of strength, grace, and elegance, handling the high-pressure role of First Lady with poise and resilience. But behind her calm smile and unwavering support for her husband, there was always a cloud of doubt looming, casting shadows over what seemed to be their perfect marriage. Now, as Michelle enters her 60s, she's finally opening up, addressing the rumors that have swirled around her relationship with Barack during their time in the White House. But before diving into these speculations, let's rewind to Michelle and Barack's early years, how they met and what fueled the gossip. Michelle LaVaughn Robinson was born on January 17, 1964 in Chicago, Illinois. Her father, Fraser Robinson III, worked for the city's water plant and was also a Democratic precinct captain, while her mother, Marian Shields Robinson, was a secretary at Spiegel's catalog store. Marian dedicated herself to being a full-time homemaker until Michelle reached high school. Michelle's family history is deeply rooted in the American South, dating back to pre-Civil War times. On her father's side, Michelle is descended from the Gullah people, who lived in the Low Country region of South Carolina. Her great-great-grandfather, Jim Robinson, was born into slavery in 1850 on the Friendfield plantation near Georgetown, South Carolina. He gained his freedom at 15 after the Civil War. Some of Michelle's paternal relatives still live in the Georgetown area, and her grandfather, Fraser Robinson Jr., built a home there before eventually retiring and moving back to South Carolina with his wife. On her mother's side, Michelle's lineage includes Melvinia Dorsey Shields, her great-great-great-grandmother. Melvinia was born enslaved in South Carolina but was later sold to Henry Wall Shields, a farmer who owned a 200-acre farm in Clay County, Georgia, near Atlanta. Melvinia's first son, Adolphus T. Shields, was born around 1860 during slavery and was of biracial heritage. Researchers have used DNA analysis and other sources to suggest that Adolphus's father was likely Charles Marian Shields, the 20-year-old son of Melvinia's owner. There's evidence that Melvinia and Charles may have had an ongoing relationship, as she had 2 more mixed-race children after emancipation and continued to live near the Shields family, eventually adopting their surname before changing it later. Melvinia rarely spoke about Adolphus's father with her family. After the Civil War, Adolphus, often referred to as Dolphus, and his wife Alice, moved to Birmingham, Alabama. They were Michelle's great-great-grandparents, and some of their descendants eventually settled in Chicago, where Michelle's grandparents lived. Additionally, other relatives relocated to Cleveland, Ohio during the 20th century. Michelle spent her childhood living on the second floor of a home at 7436 South Euclid Avenue in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood. Her parents rented the upstairs from her great-aunt, who lived on the first floor. Michelle recalls being raised in a traditional household where her mom stayed at home while her dad worked, and family meals were shared around the dining table. Her elementary school was close by, making it easy to get to. Family time often included playing Monopoly, reading, and spending time with extended relatives from both sides of the family. Michelle also took piano lessons from her great-aunt, who was a piano teacher and practiced regularly. The Robinson family were regular attendees at the South Shore United Methodist Church, and they would occasionally take vacations at a simple cabin in White Cloud, Michigan. Michelle and her older brother Craig, who was 21 months her senior, both skipped 2nd grade. Her father's battle with multiple sclerosis deeply affected her, motivating Michelle to stay out of trouble and focus on excelling in school. In 6th grade, she joined a gifted class at Bryn Mawr Elementary School, which later became Boucher Academy. From there, she went on to attend Whitney Young High School, Chicago's first magnet school, known for its selective enrollment. At Whitney Young, Michelle was classmates with Santita Jackson, daughter of civil rights leader Jesse Jackson. The daily 3-hour commute from her home on the south side to the near west side where the school was located didn't deter her. Although Michelle felt self-conscious about how others viewed her, she used any negativity as fuel to succeed. She also faced gender discrimination, recalling moments when people would ask her older brother's opinion over hers simply because he was male. Michelle was on the honor roll throughout high school, took advanced placement classes, joined the National Honor Society, and served as the student council treasurer. She graduated in 1981 as the 2nd highest-ranking student in her class. After high school, Michelle enrolled at Princeton University in 1981, encouraged by her brother. She majored in sociology and minored in African American studies, earning her Bachelor of Arts degree with distinction in 1985. Her academic journey included a 99-page senior thesis titled Princeton-Educated Blacks in the Black Community, supervised by sociologist Walter Wallace. Michelle recalls that many of her high school teachers tried to dissuade her from applying to Princeton, warning her not to aim too high. However, having a successful brother who had graduated from Princeton in 1983 may have helped her during the admissions process. Still, Michelle was determined to prove her abilities. She found her first year overwhelming, partly because neither of her parents had gone to college and she had little exposure to that world. In a particularly painful memory, Michelle remembers that the mother of her white roommate allegedly tried to have her daughter reassigned because of Michelle's race. It was during her time at Princeton that Michelle began to really notice her identity as a black woman. Although many of her classmates and professors were welcoming, she often felt a sense of detachment on campus. Socioeconomic differences were also stark. Michelle was shocked to meet fellow students who owned BMWs, a lifestyle far removed from her upbringing. At Princeton, Michelle became actively involved with the Third World Center, now known as the Carl A. Field Center, which supported minority students. She even managed the center's daycare facility, which offered tutoring for older kids after school. Michelle also challenged the traditional approach to teaching French, advocating for a more conversational style. For her graduation requirement, she conducted research and wrote a sociology thesis titled Princeton-Educated Blacks in the Black Community. To gather data, she sent a survey to African American Princeton alumni, asking them about their experiences before and after attending the university. Although the response rate was low, with fewer than 90 out of 400 alumni participating, her findings didn't match her original hypothesis. She expected that black graduates would maintain close ties to the African American community, even after attending an elite institution, but the data suggested otherwise. After Princeton, Michelle continued her education and earned her Juris Doctor JD degree from Harvard Law School in 1988. According to her biographer, Bond, Michelle gained a new level of confidence when she applied to Harvard Law School, fully believing she deserved her place there. While at Harvard, she was mentored by Charles Ogletree, who noted that Michelle had resolved an internal conflict she'd faced at Princeton, whether to live up to her parents' expectations or stay true to her identity. Ultimately, she realized she could embrace both her intelligence and her black identity at the same time. At Harvard, Michelle became involved in protests advocating for the recruitment of faculty from underrepresented minority backgrounds. She also worked with the Harvard Legal Aid Bureau, helping low-income tenants with housing issues. Michelle became the third First Lady to hold a postgraduate degree following Hillary Clinton and Laura Bush. Reflecting on her academic journey, Michelle expressed her gratitude for the unexpected opportunities it provided. After completing law school, Michelle started her career as an associate at Sidley & Austin, a law firm in Chicago, where she met Barack Obama. At Sidley & Austin, she specialized in marketing and intellectual property law. Although she still holds her legal license, Michelle has kept it inactive since 1993, as it's not needed for her current work. In 1991, Michelle took on roles in Chicago city government, working as an assistant to the mayor and later as assistant commissioner of planning and development. In 1993, she became the executive director of Public Allies Chicago, a nonprofit organization that encourages young people to address social issues in nonprofits and government. Michelle achieved great success in fundraising during her nearly 4-year tenure, setting records that lasted for 12 years. After leaving Public Allies, Michelle Obama said she had never felt as fulfilled as she did during her time helping to build the organization. In 1996, she became the Associate Dean of Student Services at the University of Chicago, where she created and led the university's Community Service Center. By 2002, Michelle transitioned to the University of Chicago Hospitals, starting as Executive Director for Community Affairs. By May 2005, she was promoted to Vice President for Community and External Affairs. During Barack Obama's 2008 primary campaign, Michelle continued working at the hospital, but shifted to part-time so she could focus more on her daughter's and her husband's campaign. Eventually, she decided to take a break from her job altogether. According to their 2006 tax return, Michelle earned $273,600 from her position at the hospital, while their total household income was $991,296, which included $51,200 from her role on the board of Treehouse Foods, along with investments and royalties from Barack's books. Michelle was a paid board member of Treehouse Foods, a major supplier to Walmart, and continued this role until shortly after Barack announced his run for president. She made her stance against Walmart's labor practices clear during an AFL-CIO forum in 2007. Michelle also served on the board of directors for the Chicago Council on Global Affairs. In 2021, she announced her gradual shift toward retirement, though she remains active in political campaigns. Michelle has expressed her intention to slow down her work to spend more time with Barack. And now let's look at Barack Obama's early life. Barack Obama was born on August 4, 1961, at the Kapiolani Medical Center for Women and Children in Honolulu, Hawaii, making him the only U.S. president born outside the contiguous 48 states. His mother, Ann Dunham, was an 18-year-old American of English, Welsh, German, Swiss, and Irish ancestry. Research revealed that her great-great-grandfather, Falmouth Kearney, had immigrated to the U.S. from Moneygall, Ireland, in 1850. Additionally, in 2012, Ancestry.com suggested that Dunham might be distantly related to John Punch, an enslaved African man from 17th century Virginia. Barack's father, Barack Obama Sr., was Kenyan, from the Luo tribe, and married at the time of his son's birth. He was from Nyangoma, Kogelo, and his surname, Obama, has Luo origins. Barack's parents met in 1960 while attending a Russian language course at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Obama Sr. was a foreign student on scholarship, and the couple married on February 2, 1961, a few months before Barack was born. Shortly after Barack's birth, his mother and he moved to Seattle, where they lived for a year while she continued her education at the University of Washington. Meanwhile, Barack Sr. completed his bachelor's degree in economics in Hawaii in June 1962, before heading to Harvard University to pursue a master's degree in economics. The couple separated in March 1964, and Obama Sr. returned to Kenya, where he remarried and became a senior economic analyst in the Ministry of Finance. He only visited Barack once during Christmas in 1971. Barack Obama's early life was marked by both cultural diversity and personal challenges. His father, Barack Obama Sr., tragically died in a car accident in 1982 when Barack was 21 years old. Reflecting on his childhood, Obama recalled that the racial differences between his father and those around him didn't significantly register in his young mind. However, as he grew older, he struggled to reconcile societal perceptions of his mixed racial background. In 1963, after his parents separated, Obama's mother, Ann Dunham, met Lolo Suatoro, an Indonesian graduate student in geography at the East-West Center at the University of Hawaii. They married on March 15, 1965, and after Lolo's visa extensions ended, he returned to Indonesia in 1966. Dunham and a young Barack joined him in 1967. Initially, they lived in a modest neighborhood in South Jakarta, but in 1970 they moved to a more affluent area in central Jakarta. From the age of 6 to 10, Obama lived in Indonesia, where he attended local schools under the name Barry. He first studied at the Catholic Santo Franciscus Assisi, St. Francis of Assisi Elementary School, and later at the public Basuki State Elementary School, Sekolah Dasar Negeri Menteng 01. He also received English language homeschooling from his mother using materials from the Calvert School. During this time, he became fluent in Indonesian. In Indonesia, Obama's stepfather, Lolo, taught him valuable life lessons, including resilience and a realistic view of the world. However, in 1971, at the age of 10, Obama returned to Honolulu to live with his maternal grandparents, Madeline and Stanley Dunham. He was enrolled in Punahou School, a prestigious private institution, thanks to a scholarship. He attended Punahou from 5th grade until his high school graduation in 1979. Barack Obama continued to use the name Barry until his trip to Kenya in 1980. From 1972 to 1975, he lived in Hawaii with his mother, Ann Dunham, and his half-sister, Maya Soetoro, while his mother pursued a graduate degree in anthropology at the University of Hawaii. In 1975, Obama chose to remain in Hawaii, even after his mother and sister returned to Indonesia for her fieldwork. Dunham spent much of the following 2 decades in Indonesia. where she finalized her divorce from Lolo Soetoro in 1980 and eventually earned her PhD in 1992. Tragically, she passed away in 1995 in Hawaii after unsuccessful treatment for ovarian and uterine cancer. During his time in Honolulu, Obama noted that the diverse cultural environment profoundly influenced his worldview, serving as a cornerstone for the principles he values most. He also openly discussed his struggles with self-identity during his adolescent years, admitting to experimenting with alcohol, marijuana, and cocaine as a means of escape. He was part of a group colloquially referred to as the Choom Gang, who socialized while using marijuana. Michelle Robinson met Barack Obama at Sidley Austin LLP, a law firm where they were among a small number of African Americans, with reports suggesting there were only two. Robinson was assigned to mentor Obama during his summer associate tenure. Their initial interaction began over a business lunch, followed by attending a community organization gathering, where Obama left a lasting impression on her. Before meeting Obama, Michelle had expressed her intention to focus solely on her career to her mother. Their first date involved watching Spike Lee's film Do the Right Thing in 1989. According to Barack Obama, their initial attraction was rooted in their contrasting backgrounds. Michelle grew up in a stable two-parent household, while he had a more adventurous upbringing. Barack and Michelle Obama married on October 3, 1992. Following a miscarriage, Michelle underwent in vitro fertilization to conceive their daughters, Malia Ann, born in 1998, and Natasha, known as Sasha, born in 2001. Barack Obama's political career. Barack Obama's political journey is marked by a series of innovative successes and significant impacts on American politics. He was born on August 4, 1961, in Honolulu, Hawaii, and his involvement in politics began after he graduated from Harvard Law School, where he became the first African-American president of the Harvard Law Review. Obama started his career as a community organizer in Chicago before transitioning to civil rights law. His political career took off in 1996 when he secured a position in the Illinois State Senate. During his time in the State Senate, he focused on improving healthcare provisions, promoting early childhood education, and advocating for criminal justice reforms. His pragmatic and articulate approach enabled him to collaborate effectively with individuals from different political affiliations. In 2004, Obama gained national prominence after delivering a keynote speech at the Democratic National Convention, significantly raising his profile and leading to his successful campaign for a seat in the U.S. Senate later that year. As a senator, he concentrated on drafting measures to enhance government transparency, improve benefits for veterans, and advocate for nuclear non-proliferation. Obama's 2008 presidential campaign was historically significant, emphasizing themes of hope and change. His message resonated with a broad spectrum of voters, particularly young people and minorities. On November 4, 2008, he made history by becoming the 44th President of the United States, marking the first time an African American assumed the highest office in the nation. During his presidency, Barack Obama enacted significant legislation, including the Affordable Care Act, ACA, which aimed to extend healthcare coverage to millions of uninsured Americans. Additionally, the Dodd-Frank Act, a crucial piece of legislation designed to regulate Wall Street and prevent future financial crises, was passed during his tenure. Re-elected for a second term in 2012, Obama continued to advocate for liberal agendas such as climate change initiatives, immigration reform, and the promotion of marriage equality. One of his notable foreign policy accomplishments was the successful mission that resulted in the elimination of Osama bin Laden. He also played a pivotal role in securing the Iran nuclear agreement, reflecting his administration's focus on diplomatic solutions. The Obama family. The Obama family lived on the south side of Chicago, where Barack served as a professor at the University of Chicago Law School. He won election to the Illinois State Senate in 1996 and later to the U.S. Senate in 2004. Instead of relocating to Washington, D.C. following Barack's election, they chose to stay in Chicago, believing it was in their daughter's best interest. During Barack's 2008 presidential campaign, Michelle Obama pledged to limit her time away from home, committing to spend only one night per week away and campaigning for 2 days a week before returning home. At one point, she formally requested that her then-fiancé meet with Valerie Jarrett, who was her potential employer, as she considered her first professional opportunity. Jarrett later became a close advisor to Barack. The couple's marriage has faced ups and downs due to the challenges of managing their growing family and navigating the demands of Barack's political career. In his second book, The Audacity of Hope, Thoughts on Reclaiming the American Dream, Barack disclosed that their hectic schedules left little time for communication or romantic engagement. Despite the demands of family and work, Barack and Michelle Obama made a concerted effort to prioritize regular date nights during their time in Chicago. Their daughters, Malia and Sasha, attended the University of Chicago Laboratory Schools, a private institution where Michelle served on the school board. She advocated for diversity within the student body, countering efforts by other board members to prioritize admissions for children of university faculty. This advocacy ultimately led to a plan to expand the school to accommodate a broader range of students. Upon relocating to Washington, D.C., Malia and Sasha continued their education at Sidwell Friends School after also considering Georgetown Day School. During an appearance on The Ellen DeGeneres Show in 2008, Michelle stated that there were no plans to have additional children. To help with parenting while in the White House, the Obamas sought guidance from former First Ladies Laura Bush, Rosalind Carter, and Hillary Clinton. Additionally, Michelle's mother, Marian Robinson, moved into the White House to provide support with childcare. Michelle Obama's duties as First Lady. As First Lady, Michelle Obama took on a wide range of responsibilities, championing various important causes and representing the United States on both national and global platforms. Her principal tasks revolved around supporting her husband's policy objectives and engaging in charitable endeavors. One of her notable initiatives was Let's Move, aimed at addressing childhood obesity by promoting healthy eating habits and regular exercise among children. She also co-founded the Joining Forces program with Dr. Jill Biden, which focused on supporting military families, veterans, and active duty personnel. In addition to these initiatives, Michelle championed education through the Reach Higher program, which encouraged young people to pursue further education and professional development. Her initiative, Let Girls Learn, brought attention to the educational opportunities for teenage girls worldwide, tackling obstacles to education on a global scale. Through these efforts, Michelle Obama significantly impacted public health, education, and military family support during her tenure as First Lady. Additionally, Michelle Obama took on the role of hostess for official events, managing the White House's social and ceremonial functions. Her speeches and media engagement significantly amplified the impact of her activism efforts. Rumors and challenges in the Obama marriage. Despite the strong connection and respect shared between Barack and Michelle Obama, rumors of infidelity and potential separation have occasionally surfaced. Michelle has openly addressed the challenges they have faced in their marriage, revealing in an interview with Ellen DeGeneres that they underwent counseling to strengthen their bond. This honesty underscores their commitment to one another and their joint efforts to navigate life's challenges. Barack Obama's previous relationship. Before marrying Michelle, Barack Obama was involved in a prominent romantic relationship that has sparked speculation and debate. In the book Rising Star: The Making of Barack Obama by David Garrow, it is revealed that Barack had a significant relationship with Sheila Miyoshi Jager in the 1980s. Jager, who is now a professor at Oberlin College, reminisced about their strong emotional bond, noting that they even shared a living space. This close relationship raised suspicions that Barack might have been romantically involved with Jager while beginning his relationship with Michelle. Barack's connection with Jager was so significant that he asked for her hand in marriage on 2 occasions, only to be turned down each time due to her youth and her family's concerns. Their relationship ended in 1987 as Barack focused on his political ambitions and Jager relocated to South Korea. This chapter of his life was crucial as it set the stage for his future relationships. Shortly after their separation, Barack crossed paths with Michelle Robinson, who would later become a transformative figure in his life. At that time, she was his supervisor at a Chicago law firm. Michelle quickly captivated Barack with her physical attractiveness and intellectual prowess, leading to the start of their official romantic relationship. In 1989, the narrative took a different turn when Jager returned to the United States in 1990 to accept a position at Harvard University. During this time, Barack purportedly continued to correspond with Yeager through letters, expressing his lingering feelings even while he was involved with Michelle. Yeager admitted to sporadically meeting with Barack during this period, leading to insinuations of infidelity. However, by 1991, Yeager had moved on, forming a new romantic relationship and putting her past with Barack behind her. These reported encounters and Barack's correspondence with Yeager have fueled speculation about his fidelity. Despite these sensational claims, neither Barack nor Michelle Obama has publicly confirmed or denied them, instead choosing to focus on their enduring commitment to one another and their family. The complexity of their relationship. While not without complexities, their narrative underscores that even the most prominent relationships face challenges. The Obamas have demonstrated resilience, openness, and profound affection, allowing them to navigate both personal and public difficulties. Their journey from the early stages of their relationship to becoming one of history's most admired couples illustrates their strength and unity. The life paths of Barack and Michelle Obama are marked by significant accomplishments, deep affection, and a steadfast dedication to each other and their principles. Their lasting impact serves as a source of inspiration for countless individuals worldwide, showcasing that authentic leadership and love can triumph over formidable obstacles. Despite enduring gossip and intense public scrutiny, the Obamas remain a beacon of hope, strength, and the transformative potential inherent in unwavering commitment and solidarity. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and remember to click on the next video shown on your screen.